How did we go from this
Coffee, doctor?
Oh, fine. Have a Camel with your coffee. Thanks.
to this?
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs. That's metal in your lungs.
But before I can get into that, we need to do a little history lesson first. Inventor Herbert A. Gilbert creates the first modern e-cigarette in the 1960s, but failed to commercialize it. Fast forward 40 years later to 2003, pharmacist and heavy smoker Han Lick creates the first commercially successful e-cigarette. He explains that the idea behind the design was to give smokers the stimulant of nicotine without the carcinogen tar.
And though e-cigarettes should be a step towards a healthier society, it was actually a step back.
What is it? It is called a cigarette.
Go bang.
Known as the Rat.
And any other aliases he might have. Do something big next month.
With this glamorization and the social pressure of peers, and of course the addictive properties of nicotine, it's hard for kids not to get hooked. Cigarettes, or the idea of smoking, used to be expensive, luxury, handmade goods only for the urban elites. But not anymore.
Vaping is
Vaping.
According to the FDA's National Youth Tobacco Survey for 2022, findings show that more than 3 million middle and high school students use a tobacco product during the past 30 days of the survey. And what's the most used type of device? E-cigarettes, at 9.4%. It's reported that in 2022, about 1 of 10 kids, or to put it in perspective, 2.5 million US middle and high school students currently use e-cigarettes in the past 30 days of the survey, with 2.14 million high school students and 380,000 middle school students admitting to use e-cigarettes.
Us to protect our nation's young people from a lifetime of nicotine addiction.
In December of 2018, former US Surgeon General Jerome Adams declares vaping as a nationwide epidemic.
And a lot of it has to do with one company.
Juul Labs, Juul e-cigarettes.
menthol Juul and two
Okay, take a look at these graphs. So this is the general trend of the US smoking rate from 1944 to 2018, but I only want to focus from 1991 to 2009. It's progress moving forward, right? The slope decreasing as time goes on. And look at this graph that only shows 1991 to 2009. This is the trend of cigarette use among high school students in the US, and it's still good progress. The trend is heading mainly in the downwards direction. Now let's look at graphs involving vaping trends. This graph shows the number of vapers globally from 2011 to 2018, showing the adult vaping population in the millions.
But after years of tobacco consumption declining and leveling off, we now see an increase from both that and from e-cigarettes.
Also, just like how we view the trend of cigarette use among high school students where it declined, in this graph where instead it's e-cigarettes, we see an incline starting in 2017.
And this wasn't all by accident or even luck. No.
It's an explicit decision on part of Juul's founders, carefully thought out and planned. And that decision is their design. They follow the Silicon Valley strategy of aggressively marketing their product to underage users on social media, and because of their sleek motoristic design, they trust it. Juul's packaging are also designed to be mass appealing. When compared to traditional cigarette packaging, the modernity shows. Both the product and the packaging are reminiscent to Apple's minimalistic design, and in turn, the clean aesthetic doesn't mention the product's cons. Cigarette packaging now displays graphic warning labels, while Juul's only displays a simple warning message.
Now I know it seems like companies such as Juul are purposely designing for this generation's downfall. There are things being done to save us. In 2018, the FDA planned on banning most flavored e-cigarettes in both retail stores and gas stations in an effort to reduce the popularity of vaping among the youth. But the story continues. Now in 2021, the FDA is considering applications for e-cigarette products from around 500 companies, many of them small, that their products are less harmful than traditional cigarettes. Also, that their usefulness in helping smokers quit outweighs the risk of them possibly becoming addicted to nicotine. As of September 2022, Juul has settled more than 5,000 lawsuits and paying nearly $440 million over a 2-year investigation over its high nicotine products.
In response to the demands and lawsuits, Juul has claimed to support responsible legislation like raising minimum purchasing age for tobacco products, reduce easiness for purchasing popular flavor among the demographic, straighten age verification for purchasing online, and removing advertising presence to target demographics like on their social media accounts.
The problem is, there's still a lot we don't know about e-cigarettes. And the studies done so far can't make solid conclusions on the long-term health impacts that are causing this epidemic. E-cigarettes are supposed to be the solution to a long-term problem, when in reality, only created a new one.
Okay, thanks for watching. I'm currently exporting the project right now, so my computer is kind of going crazy, but I had so much fun making this video. I learned so many things like audio engineering, graphic motion, animation, graphic design, and journalistic writing, which is kind of why I wanted to make this. I love journalism. I obviously love video production, so this felt so right to make. Yeah, I had fun. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah.